I've got the new list. I've got the new list
All right.
now.
Beauty.
So number 10, we've got Clarence Williams, 49 sacks. So Clarence Williams played for the Packers 71 to 77, I think. And there's a guy that did sack Fran Tarkenton 3 times in the first half. Yay! I think it's the 72 game when the Packers clinched the Central Division in 72, late in the season there. Clarence Williams, yeah, kind of one of those names that nice to see on the list, but definitely one of those names that would slip under most people's, radars. Nicknamed Big Cat, and Sweeney, often called Sweeney Williams, so it's because he was from Sweeney, Texas. So yeah, I mean, it's good to see somebody like that make the list, because, like I say, totally slipped under the radar. And I think lots of those guys, especially from those teams in the 70s, would otherwise slip under the radar. Number 9, the great Henry Jordan, 52 sacks. Sadly passed away very young, didn't he? In the mid 70s. It was one of those guys, lost his hair, I think, quite young, and always looked a lot older than he was. But a great pass rusher from inside, playing alongside first Hulk Hanna and then Ron Kostelnik at defensive tackle. Those guys shoring things up for the run, and Henry Jordan, just a great pass rusher.
How many years did he play?
I don't know. I want to say around a decade, because he's another of those guys like Willie Davids that came in a late 50s trade. Mm-hmm. So I want to say around a decade, but I can't give you the exact years off the top of my head. And of course, with that campaign, obviously was successful, because Henry got inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, which is his rightful place. And people forget, again, we always think of the Ice Bowl in '67, but of course the week before, the Packers played the Rams in that playoff game. Henry Jordan had 3.5 sacks in that playoff game of Roman Gabriel. And the Rams were a tough team, at that time. I mentioned Deacon Jones and Roman Gabriel and those guys. So yeah, another guy that brought it every week, but was able to lift it up a level when it really counted.
Do we have any kind of idea, like snap count to sack ratio at all? Is that something that's just popping in my head for everybody out there rolling their eyes right now? Klein, shut your big nose up right now. Is it because I just, when we talk about Hall of Famers, people are going to look at Henry Jordan and go 50 sacks. Come on. The impact, though, on that team, this is why we need to have an Acme Army historical channel, just so we can replay some of those games, so we can have a live chat and some beers and look at these things and just revisit exactly what the impact of these players were.
I mean, I think at the very least, we could easily do a piece of fun work for me, which would just be picking up on the points you've both raised. At least look at the number of games that they played and do a ratio of sacks to games, and look at it by position. Because remember, Henry was playing inside at defensive tackle. Then, we need to compare him not with the great pass rushing ends or outside linebackers. We need to compare him with other defensive tackles in the era in which he played.
Yeah. Well said.